Calling the roll for the Monday, February 26, 2024 Board of Control meeting. It is 11:01 a.m. We have Councilmember Dale Miller,
Present.
Trevor Meckler serving as an alternate for Purnell Jones Jr.,
Here.
Nicole English serving as an alternate for Mike Dever,
Here.
Catherine Gallagher serving as an alternate for Chris Renee, County Executive,
Here.
Lee Tucker serving as an alternate for Michael Chambers, Fiscal Officer, and as chairperson,
Here.
Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. If we could take a minute to review last week's notes from 2:20. If there are no corrections, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved. Any public comment?
No public comment?
Moving on to contracts and awards.
First item, BC 2024-146, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to a contract with Trimore Corporation for rehabilitation of aprons D1, D2, and D3 at Cuyahoga County Airport located at 26340 Curtis Wright Parkway, Richmond Heights, for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $37,800.
Nicole English with Public Works. This is an amendment to a construction contract out at the airport, and it really was all just one item, additional concrete repair, that when they went out there, there was an area that they were butting up against that was in poor condition as well, and they made the decision to replace that at the same time.
Any questions? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Porter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-147, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to a contract with KS Associates Incorporated for survey services for the Central Services Campus project on a task order basis for the period January 3rd, 2024 through project completion for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $115,000.
Nicole English with Public Works. Late last year, we had the original contract approved for KS Associates. They were selected through an RFQ process. We had estimated at the time the amount of money that we needed for the contract, and as we did due diligence on the Central Services campus site, we realized there's more work that we need from the surveyor, and so that's what this increase is for. So there's additional utility easements that they need to identify, the boundary survey, and also the lot split that needs to happen before we can close.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item?
So, yes, are they going to be working on just the area where the jail's going to be built, or the whole site?
The whole site, because as part of the close is the whole property, so they are doing a survey of the entire property.
And am I correct? We haven't acquired the property yet. We're still in due diligence.
Correct. We have to, right now, we have to close before April 22nd.
And do we think we're going to do that?
We do.
We do. Okay.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-148, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to a contract with Burgess and Nyepel Incorporated for engineering services for the replacement of various Rockside Road bridges in the City of Independence to change the terms of Article 1, Section 2, Administrative Procedures, and Article 3, Schedule of Completion Project Work Schedule, effective upon contract signatures of all parties, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $300,000.
Nicole English with Public Works again. This is an amendment to a design contract that's been ongoing actually since 2013. Rockside Road Bridges is under design. We've been waiting to secure federal funding, which we finally got in the last round of the NOACA TIP. And so this is the last piece to get us over the edge on updating the plans, the environmental document and clearance, and having some funds available for services during construction.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-149, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to a contract with Hill International Incorporated for construction management support, inspection, and material testing services for facilities for the period June 9, 2020 through December 31st, 2024, for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $129,500.
Nicole English with Public Works again. This is an amendment to a contract with Hill International. They serve as our facilities, construction management and support contractor. They were selected initially as an RFQ, and we are hoping to use them on a current facilities project.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Porter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-150, Department of Development recommending an economic development loan to 30055 Cedar Road LLC and DNF Gary Incorporated DBA Trouvé Med Spa in the amount not to exceed $455,000 for real estate acquisition and development of a medical spa to be located on 1.13 acres near the intersection of Cedar and Lander Roads in Mayfield Heights.
Good morning, Anthony Stella with Department of Development. This is a loan that we had presented to our loan committee on February 8th, earlier this month. And I have Patrick Gary here as well, who's with the business. The 30055 Cedar Road LLC is a real estate holding company. They have acquired the land already, and they will begin construction later this year on a new facility. The business is currently located in Beechwood, Ohio, in leased space. So they are expanding and acquiring land to build their own space. Currently, they have 14 full-time jobs. We'll be adding an additional 13, so they'll have a total of 27 full-time jobs at that Mayfield Heights location. The operating business is DNF Gary, Inc., DBA Trouvé Med Spa, were established in 2018 by Daniela Gary and Patrick Gary, husband and wife. Daniela is the majority owner. This is a female-owned business which will be retained in Cuyahoga County and grown in Cuyahoga County. The total project is $6 million. Huntington Bank will be providing a loan in just above about $4 million. The business will be coming in with about $1.2 million in equity, and that $455,000 from the county as a 1-year interest only, then 15-year fully amortizing loan at 5.5% interest rate. And if there are any questions, I open it up to questions.
Any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
What's the interest rate on the bank loan?
Let me take a look. I believe it's currently, I think it was like just over 8%, if I'm remembering it accurate. 8.99%.
Essentially 9%.
Yes.
So we're helping them quite a bit. by
Yes,
giving
we're helping, and we had recently, not recently, but we had increased our rates as rates had gone up on advice of our loan committee. 5.5 is sort of where we stayed at because we look to be under the prime rate.
So, I think the deal is mutually beneficial. We can't get 5.5% on
Correct.
our
yeah.
regular investments, but for a business seeking a loan, it's very attractive. So-
Yes,
So,
yes.
makes sense.
Any-
I'll move approval.
Second. All those in favor say, oh, I'm sorry, Trevor, go ahead.
Anthony, how soon will the 14 full-time jobs be added to the workforce?
That's over a 3-year period.
Thank you.
Any additional questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, BC 2024-151, Department of Housing and Community Development recommending a payment to City of Euclid in the amount of $40,434.01 as final payment for the month of April 2023 as reimbursement of FY 2019-2020 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Home Investment Partnership Program funds for home qualified activities provided under contract number 1417 during the term of the contract from May 1st, 2021 through April 30th, 2023.
Good morning. I'm Prentice Jackson on behalf of the Department of Housing and Community Development. This purchase order is a payment for an outstanding invoice that was submitted in June of 2023. That we're finalizing the contract payment, and the contract will be closed and the funds are decertified.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Ms. English. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-152, Department of Information Technology submitting an amendment to a memorandum of understanding with Ohio Department Administrative Services for software licenses, network connectivity, data storage, and backup on an IBM LPAR mainframe for the period September 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, effective upon contract signatures of all parties, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $420,000.
Good morning, Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT. As read into the record, this is an amendment with the state, $420,000 not to exceed amount to the end of 2024. The language in the amendment is certain to that it's going to be prorated month to month, and there's termination notice language in the amendment of a 30-day agreement notification. The plan that I was just updated on this morning is that there's 2 main applications still sitting on the mainframe down in Columbus, and one is juvenile court, which is being transferred into Solus, which is the data lake repository, and the other one is sanitary, which Jeremy Williams is working on another application for that. And then obviously Data Lake Solus is our central repository for any kind of legacy information at this point. So that will be decommissioned probably within, I don't want to have anyone count days, but I was told within the next 3-4 months probably. So that's why we had the language pertaining to the out clause and the prorated monthly.
Is there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. McAleer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next
Thank you.
item.
Next item, BC 2024-153, Court of Common Pleas Juvenile Court Division submitting an amendment to a contract with Ohio Guidestone for high-fidelity wraparound case management services for the period September 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2023, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2024, to change the terms of insurance effective July 1st, 2023, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $28,750.
Tara Brown, Juvenile Court. This is our 100% reclaim funded contract with Ohio Guidestone for high fidelity wraparound services. We recognize that this contract has been amended more than a few times, and I believe it's written into the grant, so we will file a new complaint as an exception for state fiscal year 25.
Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-154, Court of Common Pleas Juvenile Court Division submitting an amendment to a master contract with various providers for trauma-informed treatment services for court-referred youth for the period October 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2023, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2024, to change the terms effective July 1st, 2023, to remove a vendor and replace the insurance requirements, and for additional funds in total amount not to exceed $40,000 as listed for items A through C on the printed agenda.
Again, this is a 100% reclaim funded contract. This one also has been amended quite a few times. I'm not sure if we're going to do an RFP on this one, but I will let them know that it's been amended too many times. On this one, we did remove a vendor. They just didn't have capacity to take referrals anymore, and so they did not want to continue with an amendment. And there were extended negotiations with the remaining vendors, and so that's why this one is late.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-155, Court of Common Pleas Juvenile Court Division recommending an award on RQ 12469 and enter into a contract with Ohio Guidestone in the amount not to exceed $30,000 for sex offender assessment and treatment services for court-referred youth project for the period July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2025.
Yeah, I saw it.
This is another, 100% reclaim funding contract. We did do an RFP on this one. We awarded one of our previous vendors. That was the first award, and one of the other ones did not apply as the services were provided in an already existing contract.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Porter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-156, Sheriff's Department recommending an award and submitting a purchase order with Millennium Access Control Technology Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $16,135 for a sole source purchase of 5 MPAX 200 frame and tray assemblies and 5 paracentric keys to be installed by the Department of Public Works for use in the county jail.
Chris Costin, Sheriff's Department. This is going to be purchasing 5 door frame and tray assemblies that will be installed by Public Works in our maximum security units.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Ms. English. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-157, Sheriff's Department submitting an RFP exemption which will result in award recommendation to Lenco Industries Incorporated, DBA Lenco Armored Vehicles, in the amount not to exceed $10,756.94 for the purchase and installation of replacement ballistic glass windows for the Sheriff's Department Armored SWAT vehicle, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Chris Costin, Sheriff's Department. This person will be placing the windows on our current SWAT vehicle.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Ms. English. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-158, Sheriff's Department submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Intellatech Corporation in the amount not to exceed $150,000 for maintenance and support on the Incarceration Management and Cost System, IMAX, for the period April 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2026, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Chris Costin, Sheriff's Department. This purchase is just for the maintenance and support of our current jail management system.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing no
Yes.
Councilman Miller?
So, in the questions and answers that we sent, you noted that you've gone out to bids for a new jail management system. Will that be in addition to this system, or will that be replacing the current system?
Dale Soltis Sheriff's Office, that's going to be a total replacement of the current system.
And when do we expect to have a decision on a vendor, and how long do we expect the installation to take?
Well, we received the paperwork to review, and we're in the process of doing that, scoring the submittals. So the process within, I don't know how quick that will be, but we're looking at reviewing all the proposals and then scoring them.
And then would you send legislation to the council to approve the contract? Is that the idea?
That is correct.
And how long would the build out take for this system? How long would it take before it can go live?
I'll have to check into that and get back with you, Mr. Miller.
Okay, I would appreciate that.
You bet.
Also, in your report back, could you also let me know what functionalities the new system will have that we don't currently have, and how you intend to use them?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-159, Medical Examiner's Office submitting an RFP exemption which will result in award recommendation to Fisher Scientific Company LLC in the amount not to exceed $5,818.71 for a joint cooperative purchase of various supplies for the DNA lab, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Hugh Shannon, Medical Examiner's Office. This is just some basic supplies for the DNA lab.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item? Hearing none, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next item, exemption BC 2024-160, correcting to read the time period. Department of Public Works recommending an alternative procurement process which will result in an award recommendation to various municipalities and a total amount not to exceed $3,723,920.34 for the 2024 Preventative Maintenance Program for the period January 31st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025, as listed for items A through DDD on the printed agenda.
Nicole English with Public Works. I was afraid you were going to read all those cities, Cheryl. This is our annual preventative maintenance award. So in the fall, we send out applications, the cities all submit, and then we score an award appropriately. So you'll see all but one of our municipalities submitted and was approved for an award. And so this allows us, the cities, to do the preventative maintenance, and then it gives us time for them to invoice us, which is why it goes through 2025, just so we can reimburse them.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this item?
Yes, Madam Chair, Nicole, following up on the advanced question, what did Cleveland apply for that wasn't funded?
It was a larger cost project, and so that's why primarily it didn't score. So we score on pavement condition in sort of the opposite way that you would think. The better the pavement condition, the more points they get, because you want to crack seal and do maintenance on roads that aren't totally falling apart. ADT, so average daily traffic, the more points, and then cost. So the lower the cost, the more points they get. So they had supplied, or they had submitted on a kind of high cost road. I have to look at which one it is, but I can get back to you on which one. And so essentially that's what it didn't score.
And were there other municipalities that submitted requests that weren't funded?
Oh, yeah. So I think the total request was maybe around 5.5 million or so. So yeah, there's definitely ones that don't get funded too. And we can get you that full sheet of how much everybody requested and how much they got, if that helps.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions? Hearing no additional questions, I'd like to
So,
make a, Councilman
just-
Miller? Yeah.
Just a comment that this is a cost-effective program, and I think that, as I recall, that the council was at least involved in getting this started, and so I think it's a good thing.
Hearing no additional questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve as amended for the date. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Moving on to consent agenda items. If we could take a second to review the consent agenda items.
Consent agenda items are BC 2024-161 through BC 2024-164.
Any questions on the consent agenda items? Hearing no questions, I make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Any additional business? Public
No other-
comment?
No other business, no public comments.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. We're adjourned. Thank you.